Hey folks, back up Liz RC. How y'all doing? Alright, well, it was blue tape day from Motion RC, so that's a good thing. And this came in the mail. This is the, well, it came by way of FedEx. This is the 90mm EDF T-45 GOSHAWK. This is their new version 2. It's lighter. They don't have the leading edge slats on the wings. And, yeah, let's get her out and do an unboxing and see what's in the box. Hopefully it's a GOSHAWK. Alright, but I do love blue to wake up and look outside, and well, because I sleep during the day and live at night because I work permanent midnights, but I look out in the afternoon around 2 o'clock and there's a box sitting there. Big cardboard box with blue tape on it. That's always a good thing to wake up to. Always a good thing. Alright, got the instruction manual, which 9 times out of 10, when I'm putting these things together, I don't actually keep, I mean, I will use them, but for the most part, what I normally do is up on the, when I'm putting it together on the big screen here, I'll put the actual online manual, mainly because they always maintain the latest, most updated one. All right, let's get all the parts out. All right, need my knife. One thing, there's several things that I like when I saw when I look at this plane online. Number one, the plane is, all the white foam is painted white. It's not just white foam, bare foam. It's painted white. Okay, so I got 2 spars there. All right. All right, first up is one of the wings. Right, I can get it out of the styrofoam here. Oh yeah. Quick connect ribbon cable, which is nice. Look at all them doors. That's all hard plastic along there. Nice big honking light there. You might want to tell me what big honking is. Big. Spar there, spar there. All right. I like that. The vortex generators there. Help give it a slow flight capability. And that's where air comes in through there. Very, very, very nice. Very nice. Very nice. We like it. We like it a lot. Very, very nice. And when I'm doing these unboxing, not only am I showing you, but I'm looking for damage. This is weird. Moisture. It's wet. Does something just drip from the ceiling? But that was inside the bag. Nothing else. Well, yeah, that's... It was wet. I don't know. I don't have a leak in my roof anywhere I can see. So I don't know. Oh well, it's just water. Smell, yeah, there's no smell to it. Let me sniff on the wing here. Oh baby. Yeah, that's a little unfortunate there. You can kind of really see some gatoring there. See, on this one, yes, I know it's painted, but I think it's got a little heat to it because you can see some gatoring there. But it's not going to hurt anything. Figure out why it's wet. That's what we call a mystery. Okay, part of the end tail. We have to glue some small sections of the fuselage together. on this one. Nose cone, which I am a little, I'm not put off by it, but that's the nose cone, which is nice. It's small, but typically a lot of my jets, I'll stand them on their nose, and this is not going to give me much surface area for the jet to stand on. So that's okay. I mean, I can work around that. Let's make sure there's nothing in. Up. See, this is why you always check every little nook and cranny. There's a bag of nuts and bolts stuff down there. Yeah. All your screws and everything that holds the plane together. Very small. I know that the larger screws are what hold the wing on. The rest is for the elevator and horizontal stabilizer. Well, that's the same thing, isn't it? The elevator and the vertical stabilizer. All right, the back half of the end of the fuselage, the cheater that you glue on, and the two supports of the wing, and the arrestor hook. The stopper hook. Okay. And by the way, when you get these little pieces of foam, hang on to these things. I have a small box going of them, and because like where you set your plane down in plane, you can set the nose on these little cushions. Just a great little tool. That's a pro tip. I don't charge extra for that. So that comes with the free video. So wait a minute, the video is free too. Wait, hold on. I ain't making nothing. Oh, and just so y'all are ever wondering why, okay, to save money, instead of what they do is the reason that you have one servo that's this color, and you say, well, that's their traditional, and that one's that color. It's not two different brands. It's just that lets the people know this is the reverse servo, because you'd want them reversed, and that way they would both. Otherwise, one would work. It'd be like ailerons otherwise. And the other thing, look out for on FREEWING. If you notice how that ball link is not all the way on there, they have them in their first most outer part setting just to get them in place in case you want to adjust them, and then you're going to snap them down the rest of the way. So when you put these FREEWING planes together, that's not complete. You need to go back and snap them in the rest of the way. Ask me how I know the hard way. Okay, I think. Yep. All right, we got to bring the fuselage because the rudder is underneath. Underneath. Yeah, well, you know what? That's got a hard wood plate there, so that's good. So when I stand that up on its nose, skiddios. This is a decent sized model. This is not a small model by any stretch of the imagination. Okay. Before I show you the main event there, let's get the vertical stabilizer. Did I do an introduction? This is Fat Guy Flies RC, comes from the man cave. In case I didn't say it, can't remember. A little unfortunate. You can't really necessarily feel. You can kind of feel some of the cells, but it's not too bad. It's not too bad. Definitely not a deal breaker. Yeah, like see that is not on there all the way, so you need to pay attention to that. Definitely want to make sure you have them snapped in the whole way. Now this is cool, because the inside of this canopy is illuminated, and they give you this very long lead that you're going to plug into the blue board. And just remember, when you take it off, don't go yanking it off. You got that cord between the two. But I love the detailing. And now, of course, the main event. And just so y'all know, I will not be The air brakes back here, I'm going to have them wide into my flaps. And I know y'all are thinking, wait, what? That's not scale. You're not supposed to do that. Yeah, well, my plane. Basically, there's glue in there. Basically, I've got an 8-channel receiver for this. And I want to be able to use thrust reverse. Okay. And I also want to be able to assign a switch for the steerable nose wheel, because I'm going to put that on that gyro. And you need to have your own separate channel for that. This is nice. This is really nice. Plenty of room for the battery. I mean, look at that. Look how much room is in there. Plenty of room. I know everybody, when you watch these videos, you want to see how inside, where you're going to think about where you're going to put your receiver. So if you look, there's room underneath all them wires. There's more room here. More than likely, you got a big wide blue board, takes up the whole space. So more than likely, I'll put my receiver sideways and flush up against there. Because with the Spectrum receivers, that's what I'll be using in this one. You don't, it doesn't matter about the orientation, as long as it's not a weird straight. It has to be flat 90-degree angles. All right, big honking fan back there. And you see them screws on the back of that motor. I'll be attaching my KM model afterburner to one of them. And because it's right there, I won't have any issue taking that out. Figure out, how do I get to that EDF though? How do I get to that? Huh. Oh, okay. This whole piece here comes out, including this fin. That's interesting. Okay. All right. Well, anyways, you got plenty of room there. You don't have to. Look what I did. I hit that antenna. I hit it with my hand and broke it off. It's just, I can glue it back on. That's a weird antenna too. There. It's like a little spike there. So, alrighty. Well, that's everything out of the box. And one thing I love, these inlets here are all hard plastic around that inlet. So that's nice. That is a very nice touch. And there's lots of room for us fishing things up in there. Like that afterburner, I won't have any problem fishing the wires through there. Yeah, this is going to be a good build. It's going to be a simple build. Alrighty, we'll be right back, and that's what we're going to do next. We're going to build this plane. Alright, well, thank you for watching. This is Fat Guy Flies RC, and that is the unboxing of the FREEWING 90mm GOSHAWK T-45. God bless y'all, and God is good. Bye-bye. Well, hey folks, Fat Guy Flies RC. I'm coming to you from the man cave. We're going to be doing the assembly of the 90mm T-45 GOSHAWK by FREEWING. Now this is the version 2. All right, I've already done the unboxing. This is the assembly. Now for the assembly, you're going to need only a Phillips head screwdriver. Well, all you need, and you'll need the glue that comes with the kit. First thing you're going to want to do is, you got everything out of the box. You're going to be gluing back half of the fuselage together. And you're going to want to score that with a razor blade or whatever you want. You could use a little bit of sandpaper. Anyways, you're wanting to rough up the edges. Anywhere where you're going to have foam to foam, you're going to want to rough things up a little bit. Make a few nicks and cuts in it. Okay. Just rough it up. Give more surface area for the glue to adhere to. Okay. And you don't want to go crazy with the glue, but you don't want to be chinchy either. Okay. The glue they provide is more than enough glue for what we're doing here. fact, this is the main purpose for the glue in the kit, is this step here. All right. Press that together. Get a good lock on it. Then pull it apart. Look at these strings. Want to see the strings? And press that back together. Now, you're going to have, now this is going to be plastic to foam. Go ahead and put that in all the little nooks and crannies here. And this is like the best foam, or the best glue, Chinese glue. Only fits on there one way. That you can just press on, okay? And then I suggest taking the fuselage, setting it off to the side, okay? And let gravity be your friend there. Make sure it's on there straight. Okay. All right, that looks good. All right, let that sit there. Now you can, while that's drying, you're going to want to get your baggie. It's got these pieces here. We'll be putting our wings together. This cheater hole, these two sections here. Okay, your restra hook you'll need, but you don't need it for this step. You're going to take both halves of your wing. All right, we're back. All right, now you got both your wing halves here. Okay, they're going to go together like this. Okay. All right, you got two spars. Shorter spar goes up front. Longer spar goes in the back. Okay. Now, I don't plan on taking this wing apart, so I'm going to put just a dab of glue on these spars. Okay. Make sure your channels, that your wires are not going to be protruding. Okay. Line up both halves of your wing. Join them together, just like so. Okay. Now, you see, there's that little hole there. In your kit, you have this little baggie of screws. That one little single screw off to itself is what you're going to want to open up now. That's your first screw. Okay? And it goes in that hole, joining the two halves of the wing together. All right. Now, those are put together. I don't know where all this water from. All right. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to drop in these wing joiners. Okay. Now they're keyed and they only fit one way. But I like a nice stiff wing. You don't have to do this, but I'm going to. I'm going to put a little bit of glue on these wing halves. Just to stiffen things up. Okay. And like I say, they're keyed to where they're only going to fit one way. Don't drop it like I just did. But here on Fat Guy Flies RC, we show the accidents, we show the triumphs, we show everything. All right. That's nice and joined up there. Then you're going to come to this and see it's got that line in the middle, so you can't mess that up. All right, and that's going to join in there, and that glue will settle. And then you got this big cheater hole. Now this is important, okay, that you want to put it in at an angle. See these vents? If you had it this way, that's pulling air. You want it to be this way to where the air is angled in towards the rear of the plane, towards to feed that inlet, okay? So get your Chinese glue out. Should have just enough left to do this and a few peripherals that you have. Okay. This also helps to join your wing together. Okay. There you go. Just like so. All right, that makes for a very nice stiff wing. There you go. That's all there is to that. Okay. See how that air would go in and it would go into that EDF? All right. So now, set that off to the side. And let's grab our plane stand here. Our fuselage had enough time for that to get good and strong. Okay. You're going to take your fuselage, put it upside down. Okay. Like I say, that's on there good. Okay. Take your wing. There's a big hole here, big triangular shaped hole. You're going to feed these two ribbons down through that hole there. Just like that. Make sure that you can see them underneath there. Make sure they're not pinched. Okay. And then that wing should just settle down into its cradle, into the saddle. Okay. It's got little lines there. All right. All right. Now, you're going to need a long screwdriver for this step. This is where you're going to take your large, the more, these button-looking ones. Open them up. That's for the 4 mains, and then you're going to take 2 of these other ones. These other ones that are here, and they're going to go here and here. So let me open this up. Okay. I like using these little metal magnetic trays. Okay. All right. Okay. Grab your 4 screws. They're large, beefier screws. Okay. And I immediately got bite. Baby got bite. has a very obvious bottoming out point. And they are magnetic, so use a magnetic tipped screwdriver. Just get them nice and tight, and you see I'm using just the tips of my fingers. Okay, let me change our camera view real quick. But like I said, when I put these in, I get the screw nice and tight. Okay, then I just take the end of my fingers and I tighten it, cinch them down. Just the strength of my fingers. You go and tie anything. If you grab your whole hand and cinch that down, then you have a good chance of breaking it. Okay, and then you don't want to break it because then you got to go with epoxy and reinforce it and yada yada yada. Just not a good idea. I wonder if my screwdriver will fit down. Nope. All right, so I'm going to need a different screwdriver, a thinner one, but a long enough shaft. And you're going to take these two of these kind of screws. Now these are smaller, but they look like wood screws. They're little button heads. Okay, and they're the last place. This is the last part of the wing here. Okay, you're going to lay down in there. Okay. And what I'm seeing a gap on the other side of the wing there. I'm seeing that gap close, and there's the stopping point. There's a gap. Now you can't really see it on camera, but there's a little gap there. And it's just a slight gap, but it's just enough for you to see. Okay, I got my finger on it now. Got my fingers on that gap, and I can feel it getting smaller. And this has a very obvious bottoming out point. Yeah, that gap is like gone now. Okay, now that wing is on there. Okay, so while we're here, while we've got this plane upside down, let's go ahead and take our resting hook, wherever I put it at. Okay, and this is actually going to be another part of your structure to help hold this tail together. This just pops in, okay, and the hook part would go up. Okay, there's two little structures there. And that just goes in there just like that. Pops that in place, and that kind of helps hold that tail together. Okay. All right, turn your model over. Like I say, that wing is on there. Turn our attention to the back half. All right. Now you're going to put on your horizontal and your vertical stabilizers. Okay. Now in your kit, remember the last little button screws that we just used to put in the wing? Those two single ones? You're going to use the remaining 4 for your horizontal stabilizer. Okay, you should have 4 of them, and then for your vertical or your rudder, you're going to have 4 of these flat-headed looking look like wood screws. All right, this is your connections for your elevator right here. They're taped down. Go ahead and untape them. Okay, because they're together. You can have 2. That's the key there. They're 2, and they're back here in the back. Okay. All right. Now, if you look closely, and then you got a single one for the rudder. But if you look close, you've got yellow, red, and brown. Yellow, red, and brown. The rule of thumb for any time you're hooking up any kind of servo connection, I don't care what the servo is. If it's the light will always hook up to the light, the dark will always hook up to the dark. So in this case, the black will hook up with the brown, and the white will hook up with the yellow. Okay, this goes like this. Kind of looks like it's upside down, but it isn't. Okay, you're going to plug them together, paying attention to your polarity, which is what we're talking about. Light. If you just remember, it doesn't matter the servo who makes the servo. It's always light to light, dark to dark, and that should have a very obvious. When it's seated, you'll feel it kind of click in. It'll like really smash in. You'll feel like a stopping point. Yeah, you know, that one I can actually hurt it. And then them little clamps will hold it together. So light to light, dark to dark, and then just shove those. See how I'm just kind of shove them in a little channel there. Shove them underneath that channel. Get your wires up and out of the way. Okay, there is a little trough there, so don't worry about it. And drop your, actually it's going to key in there. Okay. All right. Yeah, this all holds the whole thing together. Oh, I guess I should have put that in afterwards. Okay. Okay, which is kind of cool. That all holds that together. Okay. All right, that's some white there on me. All right, that's going to kind of hold all that together. Cool. I like that. I do. I like that. Yeah, that kind of holds it all together, so that's good. So you're going to take them 4-button screws, and I can use might be able to use my longer. Nope. All right. Has a very obvious stopping point. I like hooking things up crisscross if I can. One indication you're there when the back plate there starts denting in, you've gone too far. When it starts denting in, stop. I don't know if y'all caught that, but that plate there was starting to dent in, so that way I knew I had hit bottom. All right. So at this point, the only thing left would be the rudder, or the horizontal or the vertical stabilizer. All right. That is together. And that kind of helps hold everything in place. All right. You're going to take your vertical stabilizer, unhook this wire, or this is just taped down. Okay. That way things aren't flopping around. Things flop around the packaging. That's when things get damaged in shipping. All right. Now, same thing. You're always going to hook up your polarity, light to light, dark to dark. Well, that's what they mean. When you hear other videos, they say, pay attention to your polarity. Well, that's what you're doing. All right. That has a very obvious. There's a little trough there. Just let that drop down in that trough. Okay. And it's kind of keyed how that fits together. Make sure that's going down in there. That obviously just fits down in there. Okay. And then you got your last remaining 4 screws that have flat heads on them. Okay. Okay. Now, this is similar. When that backing plate starts buckling out, then you know you've gone too far. Just make sure it's nice and flush. That's all you got to do. Nice and flush, and you can tell there's a little bit of a stopping point there. No point in pushing it. Yeah, very obvious stopping point. Okay. And the last sorry, I got my shoulder in your face. All right. And that is in there. Okay. Now, turn our attention to some of our peripherals. Okay, in your kit, you have a white fin that says do not paint. Okay, that goes right here. There's a little slit there. So put you a little bit of that glue on one side, a little on both sides. Okay, it's right there in the middle. Can't miss it. Then you got this black fin. Okay, there's a little gash, there's a little thing there. That fits in there. And then on your nose cone, okay, it's not on the nose cone. But let me turn it over. Pay attention to that antenna that I just attached. The nice thing about these peripherals is they're keyed. They're keyed by color. So, little hole there, little slit there. Okay. Make sure it doesn't like glue on the, you actually could just slide it right in there. Just make sure it doesn't get glued to where it attaches to your nose cone. All right, other than dropping the gear, folks, that is a completed build of the FREEWING T-45 90mm GOSHAWK. Okay, and I'll tell you what, this plane is not small by any stretch of the imagination. That is a good sized plane, and one good looking plane too. That is a good looking plane. I cannot wait to fly this. Alright, well that's the basic build, or assembly, it's not a build, it's an assembly, of the FREEWING T-45 GOSHAWK, brought to me by Motion RC. And I'll tell you, it's like I say, it's a good day when you wake up and you see a box outside with all that blue tape on it. Alright folks, when I do the maiden, after the maiden, we'll go over the radio setup after the maiden, show you all my rates and how I got everything set up. Alright, well God bless y'all. Don't forget, faith, family, and friends. This is the T-45 GOSHAWK. That Guy Flies RC saying thank you, God bless y'all, and don't forget, faith, family, and friends, them big old beautiful 90mm jets. Bye-bye.